September 10th, 2017. It's copyrighted material. I'm channeling Spirit Dr. Lester, and he wants to talk about some of the essential oils today, and specifically some of the applications of it on the skin. So he says initially he starts off with that if you have a carrier oil like hand cream or sunblock on your skin, that it can affect the way that the skin absorbs the essential oil. So he says that that's something considerations. Also certain soaps leave residues. So he said a bar from that also some application areas, he says, on the epidermis are more receptive than other epidermal areas to receive the oils as it's being applied into the body. So he says that it's a common knowledge that the largest pores of your feet on your body are in your feet. So he says that if application of oils there is good, it would probably be more acceptable if the feet were clean. He thinks that's highly amusing since some people walk around on their bare feet all the time. But nevertheless, aside from the humor here, he also zeroed in on doTERRA's 2017 conference event, and specifically how the oils are processed in the different countries, and some of the things that doTERRA perhaps has instrumental in the cleanup of the areas, the sanitation of the areas of where these are being processed. So that remains that having clean hands not to contaminate the final product, and also removal of certain trash products and things that might aerate or affect the initial processing of it. So he's very pleased in that. So he wants to move on to more about the new essential oils that the Spirit are very pleased, especially with the new cannabinoid oils, and the fact that the use for glaucoma and other symptomologies that will help people in the future and the present to have more normal lives. So he talks about the calming effects as well as the therapeutic effects and the way that it affects blood pressure. So it's marvelous. He thinks also in the future there might be combination oils used with this that would be very supportive and helping target specific symptomologies. He says that will alleviate people's distress. So he thinks that going on with the relieving of the anxieties and anxiousness of people for many reasons here. Some people are anxious because they're watching a horse race, perhaps, and the outcome of it. It says other people may need it if they're in the stock exchange and the stress of that type of life. He also says that some people have anxiousness on getting on flights for aircraft there. Then can be used this to calm them through the flight, and they'll have less disruption and they'll be able to enjoy their traveling a lot more. And he also wants to go to the stress that people have in respect to budgets and relationships. So he thinks that one mate or the other may require having a little bit of this. He also cautions against the overuse, because when you have an excessive amount of what your body can tolerate or actually needs, it doesn't have any increased value to it. And also when you talk about value and being frugal, in other words, to stretch the oil as far as possible you can while it's being therapeutically effective, he says you need to take into consideration, so a little is a lot. So he thinks that there's going to be a lot of smiley faces here with the use of the new cannabinoid oils present and future. So he wants to talk about spirituality and the effect that the cannabinoids affect the person's spirituality and open up certain centers. And he sees that the spleen and the appendix are very important in a spiritual manner, unbeknown by other people, that it does affect not only our spirituality but our psychic abilities, our intuitive abilities. So he says in that context that having a little bit of this cannabinoid oils will help tremendously in people learning to meditate when they're tremendously stressed. So he says that people will start having spiritual experiences with this. He also wants to bring in the use of ginger for other reasons and into the picture of meditation, being not necessarily internally but externally because he's saying that it affects the voice chakra, because all of us are making decrees of what we want in life. So he says, and he wants to talk just a little bit more about the essential oils in respect to meditation, like having lavender in the background being lightly diffused, a little bit of ginger there. He feels that, and some people might want to put a few drops of frankincense to open up people's pineal gland, so we have a greater spiritual experience. He says the most important thing is just like having melaleuca, and he doesn't know they're going to have a sage extract in the future, but he thinks that saging a room is very important prior to your meditations and before the use of oils. He likes the use of the diffusers and helping have the olfactory as well as the therapeutic experience of the relaxation effects of many of the oils. So moving into that, he says in a spiritual way, looking from the spirit side, they see the effects of the cannabinoids and some of the other oils that are used and how it affects a person's consciousness. It's like unlocking a cylinder lock. You do it a chamber at a time. So they see this from the spirit side of the world, releases of certain connections to certain entities, because it's such a higher vibration, just like with frankincense, the certain entities that were latching onto a person and affecting their moods and things are let go because of the energy connection breaks their connection to the various toxins that are in their body. So it's we have worry and fear and all that. That's a toxin in itself, and it attracts entities and spirits that enjoy absorbing those energies. So they would do everything to encourage the person to be distressed in order to have a reaction so they can use those energies for their own purposes in existence. So he's saying, in that fact, that's another reason why you want to have essential oils on you, because plants are not bothered by entities trying to soak up their life force energies, because they don't, the spirituality is higher where they're rejected. So he says to bringing this all back into the picture here is the first thing we want to do in the morning after our cleansing showers and so on, or facial scrubs, whatever, is the application of the oils before some of the makeups and things are applied over it. He says because it's under rather than being just like having your car washed with the waxes on there, rejects the rain. So he'd make it a little easier, and it wouldn't carry in, so if there's any toxicities associated with certain makeups, into your body. So having as an underlying layer, and then he thinks that having a little bit of like coconut, diffractionated coconut oil makes a sort of an insulation there, and you put your makeup over it, and it won't affect your physiology or go to your liver or cause you some stomach upset. This is me, some of the products do, skincare products. So getting back into the bigger picture of all of this is the holistic effect of the essential oils and how it benefits our lives, increases our productivity, it helps us have clarity of mind, and also affects our finances in a lot of ways. For preventative medicine and preventative actions that we take with our body is absolutely more cost effective. We don't have to waste time in clinics waiting for our appointments when we can just do that on the fly here. And the other part, we get instantaneous relief, because it says it was a mere of 30 seconds to a minute to some oil to be absorbed in your skin to feel the effect of it. So he also wants to talk about money consciousness and how some of the plants, essential oils, do affect our money consciousness, because it affects certain areas of our brain. So if you take a look at the magnetic output of a person's aura, it creates in itself a number of thought forms for every thought we think. So now we want that money consciousness, and we want to reiterate getting rid of negative entities that would pull our consciousness down, take the energy that would manifest it away from us by absorbing it for themselves, so they're repulsed by many of the essential oils. So that's why we want to apply it in our body, but a little is a lot, and also where you apply it sometimes, to in specific areas, targeted areas.